So, I just have to ask this question. Do you guys ever fall into situations that you feel like you would handle it differently and you just look around and you're like, and you look around and you're like, well, I've been following a lot of these lately. And honestly, like, this is a thing I feel like I should be talking about because, I've lived a lot of life. And I feel like a lot of people have this whole notion of they know themselves, they know how to go about situations and things like that. And a lot of the times I feel like people go into situations with crazy emotions. Now, let me give you a story. So the story is that I have a friend and they were at some concert and a guy that's always been trying to hit them up was hitting them up, and she was with her sister and her sister's baby daddy. So skip to, my friend was sitting here talking to her sister and like, hey, this person wants to hang out, blah, blah, blah. I'm just letting you know because I know you guys hooked up back in the day. 10 years ago. 10. So, everything happens. They're having a conversation and literally baby daddy looks over and he's just giving the
wow.
While they're talking and just trying to figure out like, all right, this seems kind of fucking weird. So baby daddy's upset. So then as soon as they come back, baby daddy asks like, hey, like, what's happening? Nothing. Goes away, goes to smoke a joint. So the sisters talk. The sister says, hey, he doesn't know that I hooked up with this person previously. Let's just not talk about it. I'm just letting you know so he doesn't get upset, blah, 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 this and that. She's like, all right, got you. Why would I bring it up anyway? Right? So then baby daddy comes back and then he's like, oof. So did you fuck this guy or something? Did you? Baby daddy was just like wanting to know, like, which first off, no, you don't need to know, bud. You don't. And whatever. So what did baby mama say? She's like, yeah, even though she just said not to tell. Okay. I appreciate her for this reason. She wanted to be honest with her man, which all power to you for that. I appreciate that. Of course, yes. But then at the same time, didn't you just tell that bitch not to say nothing? You ain't go. So my question is, with this, why even ask, okay? But anyway, skip all that. All of this to say, baby daddy is now upset and now is saying to my friend that you're not acting like family. You don't know what loyalty is, blah, 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 this and that. Keep in mind, his girlfriend has not talked to this man, has not tried to engage with him, and this guy's trying to talk to her sister. So, insecurity would have it, why are you even getting upset about this whole situation? Now, when I was hearing this, of course, my first thing is, and I hate that I do this, but I always try to like break it down because my thought process of how life is so simple. You break it down to the nitty fucking gritty. And the gritty is that you have to see from both sides. I'm very middle ground, and that's what this is. This is the community I want to build. Because I know there's so many middle ground people out there, and there's too much in the world to just sit here and know. But at the same time, there's a way to go about the things that we know and don't know in this world is what I believe. So this is my take on this, and answer some of these questions in the comments. My question is this: did he have a right to be upset? And I want to see what everybody thinks because the one person's not going to know compared to the next. So my thing is like, if that was me, oh, if it was me, yeah, if it was me, in all honesty, I feel like, first off, he shouldn't have asked anything because what does that have to do with you and your kid? Bitch, don't mind your own business. What the fuck does it have to do? She ain't texting him. She ain't saying nothing. Whatever. Keep it moving. Who cares what she did in her past, okay? And why is he mad at people now? Now, I will say this. You can't sit there and expect somebody to react the way that you would. Now, that is to go and say that maybe to me, this situation is not that big of a deal. Of course, me, whatever. I've lived through so much, I've seen so much, it's whatever. I've had exes that literally start dating my friend that I live with, and I have to see that bitch pop up and fucking walk in the house all the time. You didn't see me crying, fucking let it happen.
You chose, bitch. Where are you now?
Well, she's actually getting pulled by Lambos and stuff and married. Yeah. And she's pretty rich now, so. Anyway, like, you just have to think about it. Like, there's no reason for you to sit here and expect somebody to act the way that you do, because everybody's strength level is not the same as yours. Whether it's weaker, stronger in one area, tougher in the other. You can never expect somebody to think the same way that you do. And I had to actually learn this very well, like even just from dealing with my mom. Just knowing that we're different people, the way our outlook is on the world, things like that. So I highly believe that you have to see from the other person's perspective. Now, I can name all the things that wouldn't upset me and why. It wouldn't upset me because I haven't talked to them in years. It wouldn't upset me because who am I to tell you what you can do and what another person can do, right? And it also wouldn't upset me because, like, if I hadn't been talking to this person, I wouldn't have what I have right now. So, like, wouldn't you be able to stop and say,
I have a whole ass kid. You know what? He lost.
no, it wasn't even that. So it just, you have to see how you got to this moment to know that this thing that was a part of your past doesn't define you now. Okay? Let's take a sip. By the way, this is a drunk rant. I'm sorry. What's in your cup? Put it in the comments. Anyway, as a person, I feel like we do get to choose what upsets us at a certain point. But that does come with a lot of working on yourself and coming with, building yourself up to that. So just because I would be able to see all of those reasons, I could still see them coming from the standpoint of, well, this is some person that you've done this, and this with. If I was to do the same thing to you, being my girlfriend and wanted to be around somebody like that wouldn't be good. Because he genuinely could be like, hey, this person's going to start coming around. You had sex with them. Even if your sister's talking to them, I still got to see the nigga. Even though if it was the other way around, like, you wouldn't be cool with that. So I see you. I got you, dog. I got you. But what does that have to do with you and your household is how I see it. So all of this is to say, we have to keep other people in mind, because I just went in a complete circle of saying why I'm against something and why I'm also with it. Now, that is because you have to see both sides of things. And I feel like with all the crazy stuff that's happening in the world, you can't just get your news from one spot, or you can't just trust the first thing that you see. You have to go and find your own answers. And that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years, is making sure if I see something, I look into it. I don't care what it is. Like I look at everything. You're talking to the person that's watched Desperate Housewives, the whole fucking thing, 3 times. Hey, shout out to y'all. But it's just, who cares? I would never let somebody sit here and talk shit on me about that, because it was what I wanted to do. I feel like people, when they're alone, they kind of get this weird feeling like people are watching them, and they won't indulge in the things that they want to. A lot of people do, but then there's a good chunk that doesn't. What are you doing? You have so much freedom within yourself and in your home that you can take this time to actually grow and learn. Because the thing about actually building yourself up, it's like a second job. Self-work is actually work.
Preach. Preach.
Self-work is literally like having another job. And I feel like a lot of people don't actually take it as that. They say oh, I did this, oh, I did that, I'm getting here, I'm getting there. Well, no. There will be one day that you do something and you handle it so fucking well and just dial in. You'll be like, oh, that's the new me. That's a part of me now. And I feel like that's what people are always just sitting there waiting for, is just like thinking that any moment, since they know something new, like that's who they are. No. And I had to literally build a playlist, which actually I will put that live, and you can go on my channel and check it out anytime. It's a playlist that I listen to, all the things that make me question the world and think about things in life. And I think it's a really good playlist for the fact of it really does challenge my mind to make me consider things that I wouldn't normally consider, or just think outside of my perspective, because I highly believe that you need to look into things that you don't know to understand yourself and the world around you, because the things that you know are only going to get you so far. You know, like who would I have been if I just had the same Michigan mentality, like, hey, I'm blue collar, I go to work, this and that. Like, I'm doing that now because I kind of have to, because I fucked myself and moved back from Australia, but I went to Australia. And it's like things like that, thinking so far beyond what I actually knew. I was like, I'm going to make something happen. And I just want all of you to know it's 100% possible for you to make something happen. Whether it is being that content creator that you want to be, or making that company you want to make, or anything like that. Like, it all comes down to, like, are you willing to work for it? Because I just got to give a shout out to John. John, I worked for him for a little bit. It was a homie that I met when I was in LA the first time, and he was the reason why I got paid to go out back to LA the second time. And one thing that John told me when he was like in the middle of our mentorship was, you gotta want it, dude. And it was so simple, so simple. It was so simple of a saying, and it stuck with me because he's like, you gotta wake up and you gotta want it, dude. And just seeing the things that this person makes happen and makes into real life, it's a proven fact. If you look at all the things around you, things are 100% possible. It comes back to how you turn your inner eye and see what you're able to do and how you're able to grow. Now, I will say the hardest part about all of this for me is you kind of get addicted to your thought process. You know, like your thought processes are always going to be kind of embedded in you because it was like something you've had over a long period of time, and you haven't unlearned them, and it's just been constant, and you prove them right, you know? So when you're proving things right all the time, like, where can you really go? So one thing that you really need to know is that you're not going to see results right away. It's like when you go to meditate. You can't meditate one day and expect yourself to fucking see Vishnu and be like,
Oh my God!
and wake up and just be like, I did it. Meditation does work, man. Like, why are we not telling people? No, it doesn't work like that, like, at all. You actually have to sit there and time again, like, you have to understand your mind is a muscle. And to get yourself to the point of being comfortable and loving yourself and understanding other people around you, having patience, all of those things come down. And I know that somebody else is out there in the same position right now that I was, and that I am still currently in, because self-work never ends. You're gonna have to understand that. Whatever you work on is for the things that you need and want right now, but there's always gonna be something new that you try to obtain. You're gonna have to build yourself into something like that. That's like why people tweak the fuck out when they win the lottery, because they didn't expect to be rich. They don't know how they got rich, but they did. But they didn't mentally prepare themselves. But look, your boy did. Hey. I literally have watched stuff about people in the lottery just to make sure that I'm like, all right, this is what they did. This is what I won't do.
Smart niggas learn from the lessons of others. Don't be stupid, nigga.
But in all, like, seriousness, you really have to look at other things outside of yourself, or other things that you consider, or whatever, and really indulge in this time with yourself and ask yourself a question when you see something. Ask yourself why you feel that way about it. Like, be cognitive to the things that you are doing. If you go and set something down, like, just anywhere, like, notice that you did that. If you're not noticing little things like that, that's where you need to stop and be like, okay, clearly I'm just always on autopilot. I need to reel myself back in, feel myself. That was the biggest thing for me. Like, when I quit smoking, it was like the best thing that I ever had did. Quit smoking weed was like so good for me. And then I had a job in aerospace for 5 years, and it really, really showed me that like I didn't need something to make me my best, you know, or to like use as a crutch. Can I just say right now, whatever I put up is fantastic. I don't know how I'm this lit right now. Anyway, look. Take this from your drunk friend that has actually did the work. I got a good amount of videos that you can actually go and look at. And just consider what I'm saying. Just fiddle with it. And go and watch some of these videos that I've actually had and just question yourself about things. And that's all I'm doing here, is asking you guys questions whenever I show up, because I feel like that's what we need, is just to have a conversation. So the question today is how honest can you be with yourself about the things that bother you? How honest can you be with yourself of why they bother you? And what are some of the things that upset you? And I would love, like, if I could have somebody send in any type of story anonymously in the email that I have here below in the description, or DM me on Instagram, Normalisssboring with 3 S's, okay? And I really believe that this is a conversation that needs to be had, because there's a lot of things that people need to realize, but like it's harder when you can't admit them. So let today be the first day to let some random motherfucker on the internet tell you this shit and you listen and actually try, because I am telling you this. I am the person that has been through this stuff, and it fucking sucks, and I know it sucks. It's just so horrible. You feel isolated, you feel alone, like you're stuck in your head, and I just want you to know that you're not alone. Other people feel like this. So what is it that bothers you and that keeps you from being your best self? And why does it bother you is what you need to start asking yourself to figure that out. And when you're able to finally do that, you might get somewhere, you know? And if you can't get somewhere, let's hopefully like get somewhere together, is how I see this, you know? I really do apologize, because I wanted to actually say this video a lot better, but I'm like kind of ranting at this point. All right. And at the same time, like, this is me at my purest form right now, clearly. So I would just like real people to show up as their truest selves and have this conversation, because this is a big thing that I went through for a while. And I just know that there's a lot more people that probably go to work, stay in their head, come home, stay in their head, walk around the house in their head, and they just don't know how to get this out. But there is people just like you, and there is a place for you. And I just wanted you to know that. And yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for dealing with my drunk rant if you've gotten this far in the video. I know I'm not a professional fucking YouTuber type person, because I don't care to be, and I probably never will be, because I want to just be a real person. So, I don't know. If you're watching this, subscribe, don't, it's okay. But at least comment so we can have a conversation. That's all I ask, okay? And just remember one thing. At the end of the day, I'm a real fucking person. I'm a real person. A real one. Have a good day, y'all. Oh, people are gonna fucking hate me, bro. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.